35-25. Long pass to Chambers and behind the back.
Did you ever think in your wildest dreams? I guess
KJ to Chambers. Jam!
40 points in the first half for Tom Chambers.
Chambers with 60 points.
Chambers to win the game. He's got it. Welcome back to Tom Chambers' Greatest Games. In this episode, we go back to January 1990 with the Phoenix Suns playing the Los Angeles Lakers. Having been swept by the Lakers in the 1989 playoffs, the Suns were determined to turn the table on the Lakers in 1990. After dropping the first two matchups with the Lakers in the new season, the Suns were fired up to stop the streak. Behind the outstanding play of Tom Chambers and Kevin Johnson, the Suns would still need an overtime period to overcome an absolutely monster 24-point, 24-assist game by Magic Johnson to seal the win. Chambers and KJ would both finish with 34 points in one of their best two-man games of the season. So let's go back to January 9th, 1990, the Phoenix Suns versus the Los Angeles Lakers.
We are back at the Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Phoenix. Here are the starting lineups for tonight's game. First for the visiting Lakers. They come in with a record of 23-7. They are 9-6 on the road. James Worthy, A.C. Green, Mychal, Thompson start up front with Magic Johnson and Byron Scott in the backcourt. Pat Riley, the head coach, now in his 9th year with the Lakers. For the Phoenix Suns, this will be their 10th different starting lineup in 29 ball games this year. The reason being former Laker Kurt Rambis inserted in the starting lineup for the first time since coming over from Charlotte. He'll join Tom Chambers and Mark West up front. Kevin Johnson, Jeff Hornacek in the backcourt for Cotton Fitzsimmons in his 17th year as an NBA coach and second go-around with the Phoenix Suns. Our referees tonight, Joe Forte, Ken Maurer, and Bob Delaney. And we are set to get it underway from Phoenix, Arizona. What should be a good ball game, Doug.
Well, I'm looking forward to this. I think that Phoenix is a team that really feels they've got that confidence back now that has been missing here early in the season with the injuries and the different lineups that they have. And, you know, Cotton with another little curveball tonight, a psychological ploy to get Kurt Rambis in the ball game against his former team the Lakers. But I think the key matchups to watch to start the game will be obviously Kevin Johnson as he is bringing the ball down the floor, what the Lakers will do to try to contain his penetration. And then James Worthy has been a guy that Phoenix has just not been able to handle.
And the Lakers will have the chance to score first as Magic waits for the traffic to clear. Now starts the movement.
They'll probably go right into Worthy to see if they're going to double team him or how they're going to play him in the post.
They do get it into Worthy, who puts the shot up over Chambers. It's an air ball. Mychal Thompson there to retrieve, however, operates along the baseline. That one's blocked by West.
Shot clock's winding down. They don't have to get it up.
Magic launches one with only a second to go on the shot clock, and the first possession by the Lakers results in nothing.
Well, they got 3 shots, and none of them hit the rim. 2 air balls and a blocked shot, so if that's any indication of the defense that Phoenix is going to play tonight, Los Angeles is going to have a long night. They're going to dog KJ for 48 minutes with 3 different players. They must defend the screen roll, identify the shooters, Eddie Johnson, Hornacek, and they want to run and post up with Worthy and Magic.
And there's the first 2 points of the night, scored by James Worthy.
That's only the second shot that's had a chance to hit the basket. They've already had 4 blocked shots here, the Phoenix Suns. Not really a shot-blocking ball club.
Good ball movement. It comes over to Chambers. Hornacek's had a hot hand lately for the Suns. Mark West, much more of an offensive factor for the Suns this year, averaging 10 points a game along with his 10 rebounds. Byron Scott comes right back.
But here's their keys to winning. They want to stop the penetration of the ball. Magic. You see Magic early has thrown the ball ahead. The guy's speeding down the floor. They must defend Worthy. He's out to 4 quick points. They want to control surges and spurts. We're off to an 8-2 start here. Develop a better fourth quarter tempo, and you do that with your defense.
That is something that really is of concern to Cotton Fitzsimmons, the number of games that have gotten away from the Suns in the fourth quarter.
Absolutely. This is what Magic is doing now. He's throwing the ball ahead much more than he used to, Pete. He used to really take it on the dribble and drive it down your throat as a young player. Now as a player, he's getting by more on guile, picking his spots where he's taking it up and down the floor. When he throws ahead, he really likes to go to the post and post up smaller guards.
As you can see, neither team has had a hot hand so far in this first quarter. Chambers looks for Rambis underneath. Chambers will take it himself over Worthy. That one a little strong, wouldn't go. Rambis follows with a rebound. He'll go to the free throw line. The people's choice here in Phoenix, Kurt Rambis.
That's why they got Kurt Rambis. They felt that he was a guy that could play a role on this ball club, get to the offensive boards, play good, solid defense. Kurt Rambis made a living off this with the Lakers. Offensive rebound, a little bump in the back on AC Green, to follow up, and a chance for a three-point play.
As we mentioned, the 10th different starting lineup used by Cotton Fitzsimmons. Now, part of that was because of...
The key is the pump.
I'm be able to pump myself up. I don't know the mechanics of it.
You push this in as many times as you want.
Tights around your ankle.
Felt like a tailor-made fit.
When you want to release, it's a little button back here.
Press it and air releases.
I think somebody might sneak up behind me, push my release button, let all my air out.
Some people like BMWs. I like gym shoes.
Pump it up.
All you have to do is watch the Lakers in practice. They spend 90% of the time in practice on defense. Let's go! That was the case this morning. Kevin Johnson on the run. The 3-on-2 break. Chambers there to finish it. And after going 0 for 5 from the field, that's one way to get on the board.
Well, again, credit Kevin Johnson. That's the first time he's gotten in the lane. He forced the lane to come in, defense to collapse, and Tom Chambers was the recipient.
Worthy operating inside, losing the ball to Chambers. Chambers off to Hornacek. Phoenix on the run. Kevin Johnson into the paint underneath the Chambers for 2.
I tell you what, I would love to have played with a guy like Kevin Johnson. You just run around with your hands in a position to shoot, and all you have to do is be ready, and he's going to get you so many open shots.
And a little bit of a run by the Phoenix Suns causes the LA Lakers to call time with 2:12 remaining in the first.
What's it take to be a most valuable player?
Taken by Magic. Magic in deep. Finger rolls it up. It's good!
It takes drive, determination, and a lot of team spirit. It's that same team spirit that makes the designated driver a most valuable player. So before you go to a game, choose a designated driver, someone you can count on to get you home safely. That's who gets my vote as most valuable player.
The designated driver, someone people really look up to.
That's at halftime tonight.
Lakers over Phoenix 2019 with 2:12 remaining in the first quarter. Pete Van Weeren, Doug Collins back with you. There you see how close Phoenix came to winning twice in Los Angeles this year. The Lakers won both those games, but only by 4 points.
Well, you know, because of expansion, these two teams are only going to play each other 4 times this year, so they're going to lose a little of the rivalry. Instead of playing each other 6 times, only 4. Again, both of these games on the road for the Suns. The Lakers, I thought, in the playoff series against Phoenix were playing lights-out basketball, and then in the first day before the playoffs against Detroit, the finals, Byron Scott with a pulled hamstring, and Magic Johnson with a pulled hamstring, and that was lights out against the Detroit Pistons. But here's the last possession. You're going to see Jeff Hornacek comes down. He knocks the ball loose from behind. Chambers gives the ball up, and they're looking for the man, Kevin Johnson. Here he comes down the lane, and Chambers ready, and an easy layup. And, you know, when your jump shot's not going and you get easy layups, it's a way to get yourself involved in the game, Pete. And 0 for 5 for Chambers early, then 2 easy layups, so now he's back in rhythm.
For the Phoenix Suns in this first quarter, he has 8 points. Lakers up by 2. Hornacek with a steal. Phoenix can tie it up here. Kevin Johnson. Beautiful move by KJ. He has 5, and we are tied at 26.
Nobody better in the open court than Kevin Johnson.
Lakers will play for a final shot here in the first quarter.
See if Byron Scott gets a 3-point shot, or in many instances they'll double team and they'll rotate, and he'll get him a wide open 3 in the corner.
Cooper will take it from 3-point land. Wouldn't go. And Vlade Divac comes up with a rebound as the horn sounds, ending quarter number 1, and we're right back where we started. Lakers 26, Phoenix 26 after 1.
Here's Kevin Johnson in the open floor. Byron Scott trying to keep him out of the middle. He can't do it, and his great speed splits the defenders, kisses it off the glass. Great move by Kevin Johnson. Oscar Robertson won a world championship in Milwaukee. Nate Archibald won one in Boston. Magic Johnson has won them in L.A. Isaiah with Detroit. So if it stands to be, then at some point in time, Kevin Johnson will win a world championship in his career.
And we'll take a look and see what these two have done tonight. As you can see, Magic has not yet scored, but he has dished off for 10 baskets. KJ with 7 points, 6 assists. The rebounds about even. Well, there are a lot of folks, Doug, that thought this was really going to be Phoenix's year.
I still think that they're okay. I think that they have gotten back that attitude that they had last season. I've done about 3 of their games now this year, and I felt early in the year they were a cocky team, and I think that the injuries and some of the things that they've gone through have humbled them a little bit, and I think they're back now understanding that to win in this league, you've got to do it every night consistently.
Now the 21-year-old Yugoslavian Vlade Divac with his 7th point. Chosen in the 26th selection in the first round of the draft last year. And he has really replaced the numbers, not the legend, but the numbers of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who in his final year averaged 10 points and 4 rebounds a game. Vlade Divac averaging about 9 points and 6 rebounds a game.
Well, the one difference with he and Kareem, obviously Kareem was one of the greatest players ever, but Divac had a little more flexibility in his game. He can play forward or center.
Lakers up by 3, 6.5 minutes to go in the second. Phoenix really having to work for a shot, but Kevin Johnson beats the clock. He has 9. Woolridge clears for the Lakers. Off to Magic. Lakers on the run. There's that familiar Laker break. Woolridge will get credit for the basket. Crowd here looking for a travel call on that one, Doug.
They're going to call a technical foul on Cotton Fitzsimmons also.
How many steps did Woolridge take?
At least 3.
That is what got Cotton Fitzsimmons so upset.
Cotton saying you at least got to dribble at one time from half court. Let's take a look at it. There's 1, 2. I couldn't. He had a little baby step in there somewhere.
And Magic Johnson gets his first point of the night. They've got Eddie Johnson on Woolridge, who misses the jumper. Mark West pulls away the rebound. Chambers only 2 out of 8 in the field for Phoenix. Marley stuffs home his first field goal. West underneath. Took him a little while to get the shot away, though, and he had to alter it at the last minute. Lakers get it back. Woolridge.
Woolridge is having fun, isn't he? Behind the back, razzle-dazzle.
Biggest lead of the night for the Lakers with 4:35 remaining in the half.
Pass. Vlade Divac with a nice outlet pass. Woolridge with an over-the-shoulder catch, a little touchdown pass, a little razzle-dazzle behind the back and a layup. So Orlando Woolridge playing very big off the bench, and you see Randy Funn, the assistant coach, and his teammates.
Mychal Thompson back in, working on West now. Chambers, who really has not been a factor offensively, gets that one to fall. Only his 3rd field goal of the ball game in 9 tries.
Yeah, but here's that retaliation. Don't celebrate against the Lakers.
AC Green now with 8 in the lead, back up to 8 with 4:08 remaining. Chambers turnaround move.
What a tough shot.
Warming up.
Oh, what a tough spinning shot. Oh, that's
Green had the ball stripped away. Chambers with Magic back. Tom Chambers for 2 more. He now has 10.
If he could go up, maybe get 2 hands, I think he could guide the ball in the basket, Pete.
And Chambers warming up toward the end of this quarter as he did toward the end of the first quarter.
Well, critical possessions, as we talked about, it's 5 if they can stop it here. They maybe get it down to 2 or 3 going into the half, something right where they'd like to be.
Magic rifles it over to Scott, back to Johnson. Worthy working on Chambers. Nice move by James Worthy. He has 14. The lead back up to 7.
They're going to go 2 for 1 here. Good play by Kevin Johnson. 31 seconds on the clock now, so they traded 2 possessions for 1. The Lakers are going to have to shoot it. Phoenix will get it back. That could be worth 5 points to them.
Kevin Johnson now with double figures on the night. He has 11 in this first half. Worthy trying one from out in 3-point land. Wouldn't go. Marley comes up with it, but Worthy got a hand on it. Magic Johnson will now have a chance to give the Lakers 2 more before the buzzer sounds. Byron Scott for 3.
How about that turnover? You think Marley would like to have that pass back? Boy, that hurts.
Did it ever. The LA Lakers have opened up an 8-point lead now at halftime. The biggest lead the Lakers have had in this first half.
Well, here's
With the Lakers leading the Suns by 8, welcome to the Prudential Halftime Report. The last time the Chicago Cubs were in the World Series was 45 years ago. They lost to the Detroit Tigers. Now, I'm not saying that Chicago fans are looking for revenge, but Chicago and Detroit has developed into one of the best rivalries this side of L.A. and Boston. In fact, the only team to defeat Chuck Daly's Pistons during last year's playoffs, the Chicago Bulls, who did it twice. They also won the first meeting this year, despite the steal and basket by Vinnie Johnson that helped the Pistons to a 12-point halftime lead. But that's not nearly enough against Mychal Jordan and the Bulls. Jordan had 40 points in this game, 2 of them after the assist from Scottie Pippen, as the Bulls came from behind for a 117-114 win over the defending NBA champs. Which brings us to tonight. The teams in a virtual tie for first place in the Central Division. The Bulls percentage points ahead, but Atlanta, Indiana, Milwaukee all within 3.5 games of the lead. The Pistons have been the hottest team in the league lately. They've won 5 in a row and 9 of their last 10 going into tonight's matchup with the Bulls. Now, Chuck Daly hopes that he doesn't go from on top of the mountain to the bottom of the floor, but fortunately he was all right. Tried to get a little helping hand here. He says, no, I'll get up on my own. He also got a technical on the play. Meanwhile, Craig Hodges and Stacey King combined for a victory here against the Pistons, but at the other end, Bill Laimbeer with a jam, and then Joe Dumars has been the workhorse. 24 points in the first half for last year's MVP in the playoffs. And the Pistons on top of the Bulls now, third quarter, by 15. We'll have the Bulls live next Friday against the Charlotte Hornets. By then, there may be a coaching change. The Hornets are the only team in the league without a win on the road, and management has become dissatisfied with Dick Harter. The honeymoon apparently is over. A separation may be near. A name to keep in mind, John McLeod. Be sure to join us Friday for Chicago and Charlotte, the first meeting in the Carolinas ever between the 2 former Carolina stars, Mychal Jordan and J.R. Reed. An ankle last Friday. Do they miss Larry Bird? You better believe it. The Boston Celtics scored just 6 points in the second quarter, their lowest output in history, and they are trailing New Jersey now 50-37. That's in the third period. Meanwhile, the Clippers playing against Charlotte, where the Charlotte Hornets have the lead at the half. They were down by 18 points, but they did come back, and they took a 4-point lead. Seattle is trailing Houston, that on the road. Meanwhile, the last time that the Miami Heat won a game, there were ads in the paper that said 9 days till Christmas. The current losing streak has reached double digits. And tonight they take on the San Antonio Spurs, and Larry Brown, well, pretty lively tie he has there, but not in a good mood after that loss in Charlotte. A couple of former Syracuse Orangemen combining right here, Sherman Douglas and Ronnie Cycli, but at the other end, Mo Cheeks and David Robinson do one better. But Douglas comes back and says, hey, I'll show you another fancy assist, this one to Billy Thompson. And then Douglas, as everybody looks for the pass, decides to keep it himself a nice fake right there. And he goes in for the basket. Miami very much in this game. It's early third quarter. Ronnie Cycli, good first half. He had 15 points and 8 rebounds. The Washington Bullets have lost 12 straight on the road. And what better place to break the streak than a Madison Square Garden where the Knicks are close to unbeatable. It's been a long time since Wes Unseld won a game on the road, November 12th to be exact. Here he doesn't win the argument. Meanwhile, Bernard King, though, watch the play. First, he gets the shot blocked, but is he intimidated? No way. Shoots this one over Ewing, gets the basket. An excellent first half for Bernard King, who had 24 points by intermission. But you can't stop Ewing at the other end. He had 10 points in the first half. And then Jeff Malone gets the basket, but comes down, sprains his ankle. He had to come out of the game. However, Washington continues to pour down the Knicks. Washington with an 8-point lead. Third quarter, we'll, of course, have more on that later. And one game later tonight, Minnesota at Sacramento. And a reminder, All-Star ballots are now available. Be sure to cast yours and to join us for All-Star Weekend for Miami, a Friday night special, and then the Slam Dunk Long-Distance Shootout and Legends game Saturday night. We'll be back in a moment with an All-Star from Yugoslavia trying to make the grade in America. Welcome to Inside the NBA. The Lakers' first and only selection in the 1989 draft was Vlade Divac. Although he's just 21, he has 5 years of professional experience with one of the top clubs in Yugoslavia. However, as far as NBA standards go, he's still a rookie playing in a different league.
As the Cold War comes to a close and relations begin to thaw, Eastern Bloc countries like Yugoslavia can now unveil their once hidden treasures to an eager Western world.
Los Angeles Lakers select Vlade Divac from Partizan Belgrade, Yugoslavia.
So there's Vlade Divac from the Yugoslavian national team.
The foreigner traveled to a strange new land that could not be more different from his own.
In California, in Los Angeles, very different weather. The weather is very nice and, you know, only warm.
Indoors at the Great Western Forum, it took Vlade a little longer to warm up as the Lakers' new backup center struggled at first to adopt an unfamiliar style of play.
Yeah, I like that coach, don't like.
He needs seasoning, and he needs to really understand how the NBA game is played.
And who better to teach him about the finer points of the center position than Laker legend Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Kareem now teacher, my teacher, because every day come and practice, and after practice I learn at Kareem.
Divac has also proven to be a dedicated student of basketball's unspoken language.
What you want, you just have to tell him in the way that he can understand. So a lot of slide language, you know, sign and this, rebound, you know, shoot, you know, things of that nature where he can understand what you're trying to tell him.
He also understands the importance of securing diplomatic ties with his frontline counterpart.
I think Akeem Olajuwon, Pat Ewing, and Mychal Thompson are the best pivot in NBA league.
That's what Vlade said? Well, I tell you, it pays to pay these rookies, I tell you.
Adjusting to the media is another step in the assimilation process.
Hi, I'm Vlade Divac of Los Angeles Lakers, wishing on our fans,
He's not like trying to wait and then make the transition. He wants it now, and he wants to be one of the boys, and we're making sure he is one of the boys.
Tailor-made for the Lakers running game, the quick and agile 7-footer will be one of the boys for years to come, a place where he feels right at home.
NBA league, the best league. Here play the best player, and I must play here.
I'm coming to America, America.
And in the first half, Vlade Divac has 2 rebounds and 8 points. Those 8 points, the difference, as his Lakers are leading the Suns by 8. Let's go back to Pete Van Wieren and Doug Collins.
Okay, thank you, Craig Sager. Vlade Divac, a member of his national team at age 16 and an NBA professional at age 21. First half, the Lakers made a lot of advantage of Phoenix mistakes.
Well, they were very opportunistic. The Lakers didn't have a track meet tonight. They picked their spots, as we talked about in the opening. You see the points, but here's what Magic Johnson is doing very, very well. Here's Woolridge, gets it to head to Magic. Magic with his eyes up, and he feels Woolridge on his left side. Woolridge is probably yelling out to him, trailer on the left, Magic. He gets it to him for a dunk. Here you see the turnovers. The Lakers only 4 to 11 for the Suns. Points off turnovers 14-6 for the Lakers, +8. That's the difference in the ball game. Let's talk about the matchups. Magic only 1 point to Kevin's 11, but 16 assists, no turnovers, as opposed to 9 assists, 4 turnovers for Kevin Johnson.
Earlier this year, Magic Johnson had 24 assists against Denver.
See a great pass here by Magic. Half is wasted, so I think guys have to do a better job of warming up.
Magic Johnson, who did not look for shots in that first half, he was content to pass the ball to others, nails a 3-pointer. And the Lakers now have their biggest lead of the night. Chambers passing up the shot. Hornacek doesn't. Hornacek has 8. And this time the Lakers turn the ball over. Chambers from KJ. Chambers has 14.
Clutch men, clutch moments. Brought to you by the official vehicles of the NBA, Jeep and Eagle. With time running out, Phoenix ties the game on this jump shot by Eddie Johnson, who will Los Angeles turn to in the clutch. With the game on the line, Los Angeles looks to Magic Johnson to come through in the clutch. You can expect the best from Jeep and Eagle.
Thompson hits a couple shots. Byron, Scott, they just have so many weapons they can go to.
Chambers drives. He has 16. Lakers lead an 8-point lead. KJ thinking about driving that time. Good defense by Byron Scott. A little fancy Dan pass by Chambers. They get it underneath to Rambis for 2.
Getting the ball to your people in the right area so they can take advantage of their strengths.
Divac gets it from Magic. There's the hook by Vlade. Divac.
See, very, very difficult time saying.
20 assists now for Magic Johnson. Chambers going to the line. He has 16 points. His first trip to the free throw line tonight.
You know, he's been banged up a little bit. He's had a bad
Kevin Duckworth.
And then he split his eye open at 14 stitches. And I think he fractured a small bone in his cheekbone.
But he was still able to play through it. Didn't miss a game.
Absolutely. I think the one difference that I saw, Pete, in his game when he's banged up a little bit, he doesn't have that explosiveness to the basket. He picks and chooses his spots. That's why he's really only shot 2 free throws tonight. He really can't explode and get in there like he'd like to.
Lakers by 6. You see the time left in the third.
So he wants it back. They made the double team converge. He got it back and kicked it off. That's just unselfish basketball.
And his 21 assists wouldn't go. Kevin Johnson can get the Suns back to within 4. Finds Chambers. Chambers drilled by Woolridge.
So they have a 9-man roster. I think they have the deepest team in the NBA. Jerry West has done a tremendous job. He and Pat Riley there with that organization.
To be able to maintain the winning ways that they have, picking so far down in the draft list every year, it's really very difficult to do.
Well, you know, what happens, Pete, is you get down there and you start drafting down there at the bottom. If no one excites you, that pick really becomes something you can trade to get a veteran player that keeps your team going. And a lot of teams want to build through the draft. They like those young players.
There's another big game with Detroit trying to take over undisputed first place in their division. Fitzsimmons is really upset with that call.
Let's see if Tom Chambers pulls him back or if he just moves out of his way. I don't know if we'll be able to see it here. He's fronting him. Vlade's trying to move back. Actually, he just sort of fell down. I thought that was a good steal. Vlade Divac there, I think, pulled his Vlade going to Hollywood act right there. Is going to get 2 free throws.
His wife is an actress, and Vlade has picked up a few lessons.
Well, they've got to make a stand here, get some stops.
Down by 7, Kevin Johnson threads the lane and fires the hoop for 2. Drew finds Woolridge, but he missed it. And Divac did not get the shot away before the buzzer. The basket will not count.
Tom Chambers.
81-76 Lakers after 3.
Look at this block by Tom Chambers on Orlando Woolridge. Woolridge goes up the tomahawk, dunk this one. Look at Chambers. What a gorgeous play to end the quarter. That will send Phoenix with some momentum going into this 4th period.
Lakers lead at 81-76 before a sellout crowd here in Phoenix. 1 quarter to go at the Coliseum. A lot of contact going on underneath. Eddie Johnson wanted a foul called against Woolridge.
He almost lost his shirt.
Chambers over Worthy. Chambers with 21. Suns within 3. They look for him. There's that little junior jump hook of his. Try and stop that.
See the shot clock winding down again.
Chambers will take it. Chambers saves him. It's a 1-point game. Chambers now at 23.
Tom Chambers on the isolation. You're going to see a nice spinning move here. Takes it up. Beautiful shot there by Tom Chambers off the spin. 22nd timeout by the Lakers.
Marley will take it. West the rebound. Back to Marley. Tries again. Missed that one too. But there to put it home is Mark West.
You know they're doing this with Kevin Johnson on the bench.
84-83. Phoenix by 1. Remaining, and here's tonight's Minute Maid Minute, Doug.
Well, you're going to take a look at it. Vince scoring LA 25-11. That's surprising. Eddie Johnson usually gives them big points off the bench. Magic Johnson, 21 assists. Rebounding very, very deceptive here. Phoenix, 48 rebounds. On 16 offensive rebounds, they've been only able to get 5 points. That's very poor percentage off that.
Yeah, we can think of 2 specific instances when Phoenix had 4 cracks at a basket and missed all 4 of them, and 3 another time missed all 3 of them, and that's the way the Gorilla
this is what
gets the crowd going.
This is what
here.
you do in your off time. I know what you're doing. You get the crowd all excited.
Underneath to Chambers, who got along the baseline, got up for the shot, drew the foul.
You know, as I was looking at the stats there, it looks like the Lakers only have 1 field goal here in 7 minutes. They only have 1 field goal in the 4th quarter.
They do. Magic Johnson hit it.
Remember what we talked about again. Phoenix, the key's defense. They must be able to defend the Laker half-court game. 1 field goal in 7 minutes is tremendous defense.
So the defensive tide has really turned in this game. It was the Lakers' D that was the dominant force in the first half. Phoenix Suns now have a 2-point lead. Chambers with 24, chance for 25. Jerry Colangelo looking on.
Scotty Robertson, their outstanding scout, sitting beside him, former NBA head coach, who does a great job doing his advanced scouting for this Phoenix Suns.
Worthy with another assist from Magic Johnson, his 22nd of the night. Only the 2nd field goal scored in the 4th quarter by the Lakers. Chambers, the chance for a 3-point play.
Well, here's what happens. They trap the screen and roll. They throw it to Chambers. You got to close out on him, make him shoot the ball. They opened up. Worthy did not close out well on him. He sided him, and he let him drive the ball. You got to be able to make him shoot that jump shot. That's something that the Lakers worked on, and that time Chambers got inside. You saw how excited Kevin Johnson was with that 3-point play.
9 points in the quarter for Chambers. Phoenix with their biggest lead of the night.
Back to Phoenix in a moment, but Detroit holding its ground. We saw Chuck Daly go down earlier. He was all right, got up. But check out Dennis Rodman. Goes for the defensive rebound, dives headfirst, takes out several members of press row. But it was hustle like that that enabled the Pistons to hold Michael Jordan to just 16 points, less than half his average, as Detroit takes over sole possession of first place in the Central. Back to Pete and Doug.
There's your score, 94-90. Phoenix leading the Lakers with 4:24 to go in the ball game.
Look at the matchups here. Magic only 9 points, but 22 assists, 5 rebounds. In the first half, I thought the key statistic was KJ had 9 assists, but he also had 4 turnovers.
Well, you know, all those assists lead to baskets. 9 points is 9 points. 22 assists is 44 points. That's 53. Kevin Johnson with 22 points, 12 assists. That's 54.
That's the right on target.
Now the Lakers can grab the lead right back.
Now, I tell you what, I'm not going to tell you I told you so, but I told you the guy was going to have to score in the 4th quarter, and he has all but one of their baskets.
10 points in the 4th quarter for Magic Johnson. Lakers have the lead back.
You are so beautiful. To me, you are so beautiful. To me. Can't you see? You're everything I hope for. You're everything I need. You are so beautiful to me.
That's a great matchup right here. Worthy and Chambers, 2 all-star forwards.
Scott for 3.
Oh, man.
Byron Scott.
What a shot by Byron Scott. Just the audacity of taking that shot in that spot.
Wants him to go away so he can take him in the lane with that little hook.
But Marley forced him to alter the shot. Great defense again by the second-year player out of Central Michigan. Tom Chambers answers on the other end. Chambers now with 11 points in the fourth quarter, 30 points in the game. We've got a timeout.
The Lakers were able to force a turnover. Here's a block shot by Mark West and a run out. And Byron Scott does a smart thing here. He's back. And he gives up the play here rather than give up a three-point play opportunity. If he would have reached in and gave a foul, it would have been a three-point play.
And a three-point play would have tied the ball game. It's still a one-point lead. 102-100.
They want to get a quick shot here to get 2 for 1. They need to take it now.
Chambers does and nails it. 32 for Chambers. We're tied at 102.
Timeout from the Lakers.
As we see both coaches now working in the huddle, they wanted to get 2 for 1 opportunity. There's a 3.5-second shot differential now on the clock, Pete, as Chambers knocked in the shot. A pickup on the loose ball. You see Kevin Johnson off the screen, Chambers rolling out. They don't react quickly enough to get there. And a jumper, 3.5 seconds now on the clock. So if they're able to stop the Lakers here, they can call timeout, move the ball to half court, and get the last shot to try to win the basketball game. Defense now is the number for the Phoenix Suns.
And the defensive unit is the 5 best defensive players on the team right now, with Kevin Johnson, Dan Marley, Tom Chambers, Mark West, and Kurt Rambis back in there.
Interesting substitution here for Pat Riley. He's got Orlando Woolridge in the ball game. I think that's for offensive rebounding. I think Orlando gives him a quicker player, maybe a guy that can get him a second shot in case they double team. Let's watch what happens.
Magic Johnson, Byron Scott, E.C. Green, and James Worthy in there along with Orlando. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. 10 left on the shot clock. 6 on the shot clock. 3 on the shot clock. A.C. Green rebounds. Rambis pulls it away. Timeout Phoenix with less than a second to go. And if nobody is able to make a shot, we go to overtime when the Lakers have won 2 out of 3 this year. And Phoenix is 0 for 3 in overtime games.
I think the real key here is how do you decide you want to play the man out of bounds? With this little time playing, I think Pat Riley's probably going to get a man right on top of the basketball so you can't see the floor. If you back off, that guy can pick you apart on a pass. Let's see how he decides to play that. He's put Vlade Divac in the game. I wouldn't be surprised if he put him up on the basketball. He's their biggest player.
That's where he's going to put him, up against Marley.
Now watch his back screening action. I think you might see a back screen. Chambers is on the weak side right here. See if they try to run Eddie Johnson maybe off a screen by Chambers to the basketball, and then Chambers popping back.
Well, here we go.
There's Kevin Johnson popping back.
He did not get the shot away before the horn sounded. Didn't go in anyway. So we go to overtime, tied at 102 here in Phoenix.
Overtime. Magic Johnson and A.C. Green.
And you go to the penalty with the 4th personal foul during an overtime period. It is Chambers, Rambis, West, Marley, and Kevin Johnson for Phoenix. Magic Johnson, James Worthy, Byron Scott, E.C. Green, and Orlando Woolridge for the Lakers.
You know, it's interesting. Cotton Fitzsimmons has stayed with his best defensive team for this 5 minutes. He's got Rambis, Marley, and West. So the 2 offensive players now are Chambers and Kevin Johnson. Those are the 2 guys.
Chambers. Left uncovered, hits the jumper. He's got 34. We're tied at 104.
Well, 2-man basketball. Kevin Johnson, Chambers. You have 3 great defensive players, Marley, West, and Rambis. So it's going to be 2-man offense and 3 men in isolation for the Suns in this overtime period.
Now Woolridge over Rambis. Wouldn't go. Chambers pulls it down for Phoenix.
That's a tough shot by Woolridge. That was a fading shot that had no chance really to go in.
With 19 points, 23 assists in the ballgame, and a big rebound. Last trip down the court. Kevin Johnson answers on the other end. That gives Phoenix the lead back, 108-106, and they have a chance to make it a 3-point lead here.
Well, I'm going to tell you, To be young, Pete, to be young and have this kind of energy, Kevin Johnson just explodes in the lane, and he's played heavy minutes. He's been dogged for 53 minutes tonight, and he still has explosive speed and quickness to the basket. That's why in this league, it's so important to have young players on your team with the marathon that this NBA season is.
KJ now with 27 points. Suns lead it 109-106. Worthy with a beautiful pass from Magic Johnson. That just tied the Lakers' club record for assists in a ball game. 24 assists for Magic Johnson.
That took 6 seconds.
23 points for James Worthy, a 2-point Phoenix lead.
See, here's a problem right now. You've got to look either for Chambers or Kevin Johnson. The other guys aren't scorers, except for right there.
Offensive rebounds. Kurt Rambis against his former teammates. There you see the phenomenal numbers from the two leaders of the backcourt, Magic and Kevin.
See, they're going to penetrate, and they're going to kick out. Kevin Johnson stayed at home. He did a nice job. But there he wraps up Byron Scott. Now, if you're in the CBA, that's 3 shots because you found the guy taking a 3-point shot.
Missed the first one.
Well, as it looks, it's going to be a good foul, but I still, percentages, I don't like it. You know why I don't like it, Pete? Because you can foul down at the other end, and you're still going to have a chance for a 3-point shot.
Scott makes 1 of 2. He has 18. Phoenix up by 2. Very quickly, Kevin Johnson is fouled to stop the clock again. Less than a second went by. Remember, a lot of these youngsters on the Phoenix bench don't know what it is to beat the Los Angeles Lakers. They've got some rookies on that bench there that haven't played tonight. Guys like Greg Grant.
Well, it's nice to see those guys on the bench into the game. You see them on their knees right now watching.
Kevin Johnson putting together a big finish in this overtime. He had 2 big 3-point plays earlier in the overtime. And now he has given the Phoenix Suns a 4-point lead. 32 for Kevin Johnson.
I don't know what these people are leaving for. I've seen crazy things happen. Got everybody getting out, going to their cars. There's still too much time, Pete.
119-150, and you know, if you look back over this game, the Phoenix Suns have really not been in the lead for that much of it.
NBA Friday on TNT. Michael Jordan's Carolina homecoming. Last year, a buzzer beater spoiled his return. This year could be different. Chicago takes on Charlotte. Friday on TNT.
Phoenix leads at 119-118 with 7 seconds remaining in the overtime after an unbelievable shot by Magic Johnson.
Well, this looks like a relay race here. It looks like Magic Johnson's running. Here comes Hornacek on the inside trying to catch him. Magic with the catch, and you tell me, look at this 3-point shot. I tell you, if you can ever count this team out, boom, it goes. You're going to see the clock now. 7.0 seconds remaining. Now, here's the problem. The Lakers have no timeouts remaining. We see Pat Riley and the way he reacts to it. They have no timeouts remaining. So the Phoenix has chosen to take the ball length of the floor, which means if the Lakers can get a turnover here, they're right underneath their own basket. If they foul, the Lakers have no timeouts, so on the free throw, they've got to go length of the floor with it. So Pat Riley also had to set up in the timeout, Pete, what he wanted his team to do in case there was a foul. I don't know if I like this strategy, taking the ball in here underneath your basket, because
if you lose it, it goes right back to the Lakers, but Kevin Johnson's not about to lose it. He was fouled by Byron Scott.
Well, that was a nice play they set up there. Rambis did a good job throwing the ball in. Kevin Johnson was able to receive the ball.
And KJ goes back to the line where he has hit 4 straight in this overtime.
Now, here's where I might foul. If Kevin Johnson makes both of these free throws to give him a 3-point lead, on the throw-in and advancement of the ball, that's when I would foul. With no timeouts remaining.
Just go to the line?
Yes, sir. Now
all they can do is score 2.
Absolutely. That's when I would foul. So if he makes this one on the throw-in, I'd foul him.
And that may be what the conversation is right at the line right now. 120-118. We've only got 5.5 seconds remaining in the overtime. Kevin Johnson has been big in this overtime.
I'd foul him. Right now, I'd come up and get him.
No need to.
They tried to, and they didn't get it.
The Phoenix Suns have defeated the Los Angeles Lakers in overtime, 121 to 118. For Doug Collins, this is Pete Van Wieren. So long from Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Phoenix, where the final once again tonight was the Suns 121, the Lakers 118.